welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Before I get started with this video, which I'm actually really excited about, I have a couple different videos that I've been thinking about filming, but before I get started I just wanted to say hello to all the new subscribers that I have. It's not a ton, but I woke up this morning and saw that we're almost at 200 subscribers, which for me is like, it's amazing to think that, especially because lately I really haven't been uploading a lot of content. But it just goes to show that sometimes people look for more the quality of your content as opposed to the quantity, and that just made me really happy to see that I'm still getting subscribers, even though I haven't been posting a lot. Thank you guys for sticking by me as I haven't really been posting a lot. I really appreciate it. But I have a few video ideas that I'm really excited about, and this is definitely one of them. This is going to be kind of like a series on my channel, so you have probably already seen this intro, because I'm just going to keep the same intro for everything. But this is going to be a decluttering series of videos because I have a lot of makeup. Not as much as a lot of beauty YouTubers that I've been seeing on YouTube doing these videos, but I have a good amount. But yeah, I have a lot of makeup for me, and I really don't use a lot of this makeup, so I'm going to go through and declutter a lot of it. I also have another video that I will be coming out with shortly that has to do with my highlighters, because I have a lot of highlighters. So stay tuned for that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get on with this video. If you like this video, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. Also, feel free to leave any comments down below of what you like about my declutter video, what you think I should change about my declutter video. I love your guys' input, so please feel free to leave that down below. And before you leave, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, so that way you know when I post the next part in this series. So without further ado, let's get into this. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be going in order of my face. So first will be primer, foundation, concealer, and then we'll just keep going down that way. Let's go ahead and go through my primers. To be honest, I'm not going to be giving a lot of these away. We'll just go ahead and go through them. And the reason I'm splitting it up into parts is because I want to be able to explain to you guys what I like about products, what I don't like about products. And for the products I give away, I'm going to give a reason for why. So let's just go ahead and start. First primer is the Maybelline Master Prime, the Blur and Smooth 100. I am going to keep this just because, to be honest, it's almost empty anyways. And I do really like this. I feel like it does really kind of smooth out my pores, and it creates a nice base, so I'm keeping that one. And we'll go ahead and leave a tally up top as for how many I'm keeping and how many I'm decluttering. The next one I have is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer Hydrating Primer. Again, same story with this one. It's almost empty, so I'm going to keep it and finish it, and then after I'm done with it, I will get rid of it. The next primer that I have is the Milani Prime Light Face Primer, Strobing and Pore Minimizing. It's oil-free. I'm definitely keeping this. This has been my go-to primer as of lately. It gives the skin a very nice dewy finish, and it just kind of helps to provide a really nice base, and it also keeps my skin from getting too dry because it isn't mattifying. The next one I have is the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Coconut Water Primer Stick. I'm unsure whether or not I'm going to keep this as a primer, but I'm definitely not keeping it as a primer. Maybe I want to use it as like a moisturizing stick or something to that effect. So for now, I'm going to hang on to it, but with the potential of decluttering it here in the near future. The next one I have is the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. In my opinion, and in a lot of other people's opinion, this is a pretty good dupe for the Benefit Professional, the original Professional. I don't really gravitate towards this very much, especially with the last primer that I have. So I'm probably going to declutter this. This is actually going to be pretty hard for me to do because some of these products I've actually grown attached to in a way. It's kind of hard to explain. But in all honesty, I really don't reach for this primer. And the last primer that I have is a newish primer. I talked about it in my foundation review on the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue hydrating gel cream. This is a primer that I've been using. It's the Professional, the new one, the Pearl Primer. This is just a like little tester size that I got at Ulta. I really like this primer. I'm not sure if I'm going to buy a full size, not because the product's bad, just because I am cheap and I don't like to spend money on things. But definitely keeping this. I love this primer very much. I apologize for the horrible angle, but like I did with the primers, I will hold it up and show you each individual one. This foundation is the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Hydrating Gel Cream. Tinted hydrating gel cream. I know for sure I'm keeping this. This has been my go-to foundation as of lately. If you haven't checked out the video that I did on this, you should definitely check it out. But I'm definitely keeping this one, without a doubt. This is a tester of the MAC Next to Nothing foundation. I got this obviously at MAC because I was hoping to maybe find a foundation. This was before I got the Bare Minerals one. I did not like this. I feel like, one, it didn't provide enough coverage, which makes sense because it's supposed to be next to nothing, but on top of it, it really just didn't do anything for my skin, so I will definitely be decluttering this. As of right now, I don't know exactly what I'm doing with the products. For the most part, a lot of these are pretty well used. I will probably just be getting rid of most of these, especially the foundations, because a lot of them are pretty old. But this one, definitely decluttering. The next one is the Hard Candy Glamouflage foundation. To be honest, I only used this a couple times, and kind of the same sort of situation. It really didn't do anything for my skin. A lot of these foundations, honestly, that's kind of the reason that if I declutter them, that will be why. Didn't do anything for my skin. I felt that it was really cakey and really thick, and I just don't ever reach for this, so this will definitely be one that I will be decluttering. The next product I have is the Maybelline BB Fresh. Again, another product I don't reach for. There's like no coverage. It literally is like basically just a moisturizer. Yeah, so I don't use this, and I will never use this, especially with the Bare Minerals gel cream that I have now. So definitely decluttering this. The next foundation that I have is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup. This is in the shade Ivory Nude. I got this from my sister because I believe this shade was too light for her, if I remember correctly. The shade is a little dark for me, and I don't find myself, I used a good chunk of it trying to convince myself that I liked it, but to be honest, it really just, the coverage is nice, but the consistency is just not really great for my skin type. If you don't know, I have dry skin, so this is just really thick, really cakey, and I just can't seem to get it to work to an enjoyable level. So unfortunately, I'm a little sad because this is a really nice bottle. I am going to be decluttering it, which makes me kind of sad, but it's also kind of old anyways, so it's probably time to get rid of it on that note. Next, I have two of these actually, because for a while this was my go-to foundation. This is the Revlon Color Stay Makeup Normal to Dry Skin, and then I also have a combination oily. This one I bought before I knew my skin type, and then this one I bought after I knew my skin type, but then I started trying a bunch of other foundations, so as you can see, this one really didn't get used, and then on top of it, they're just too light for my skin. I didn't quite understand that my skin wasn't exactly just the lightest shade of foundation, so it's too light for me, and I just don't gravitate towards these anymore because I have really dry skin, and even this one right here just really doesn't do anything for me. But besides that, I don't use these hardly ever, so I'm definitely going to be decluttering these as well. Not that it's a bad foundation, just don't use them. The next one is one I know for sure I'm decluttering, and this makes me sad because I really wanted to like this. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer in 00A Porcelain. I really wanted to like this because this is a really hyped foundation on YouTube, and again, just really drying. Even the shade, it was a little too light, I think. I probably could have gotten one darker, but it's just really hard to tell, especially because this foundation oxidizes, so you just never really know. But I never could keep this foundation on my skin long enough to see if it would oxidize. So I've had too many bad experiences with this foundation, and it's just it's a hard no, because like I said, I really wanted to like this foundation, but I just couldn't. The next one I have is the Maybelline Fit Me Shine Balance Foundation. It's a skin foundation. I bought this foundation stick for another one of my foundations just to kind of highlight with, but to be completely honest, this just doesn't work well for my skin, which I guess I should have known because it's for combination. But also on top of it, the formula is just kind of really dry. It doesn't really go on very well, so I never use this. And I just, if I use anything, I use concealer, but definitely getting rid of this because it just does not work for my skin. The next foundation that I am getting rid of, yes, I'm getting rid of it because this is kind of quite old, but this is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation in the shade Nude Ivory. It definitely has that paint-like smell. Well, I mean, it always kind of had that paint-like smell, if I'm being honest. But it really has that paint-like smell, and just to be honest, it's old, and I don't use it because it didn't do really great things for my skin. Like, it wasn't terrible. There's a lot worse foundations that I have that I use that were worse, but I just found myself kind of getting away from this foundation, and I haven't used it in a while, and now it smells like paint, so now we're definitely not using it. The next foundation that I have that I'm actually really sad to be decluttering this is the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir foundation. I'm really sad because I really like this foundation formula wise. I think it's an amazing formula, especially for my skin, because it really just goes on the skin really nicely and it gives it that nice glow. But the problem I have with this is the lightest shade. Just to give you a comparison of what my perfect shade is, this is my perfect shade in the Wet n Wild, and if you look at it, it looks pretty close, and if it was to stay this color, I could get away with it, but the problem with it is it oxidizes, and it goes orange, and it doesn't look great after a little bit, which again makes me very sad. So CoverGirl, if anyone from CoverGirl is watching this, please make more shades of this. I honestly think that the shade range is pretty crap. I don't even think that the dark shades are really that good either. I can't remember, honestly, because I don't look at the dark shades. From what I can remember, I don't think the shade selection is that great. So if anyone from CoverGirl is watching this, please make more shades, both on the lighter and darker spectrum, because I love this foundation. But this would be my go-to foundation if I could get a shade that would stay my shade. And the last foundation I have is one that I am keeping. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy Smooth Foundation in the shade 120 Classic Ivory. This is the foundation that I bought the stick foundation for, to kind of be a little bit of a highlight, because this isn't like super dark, but it is a little bit darker than my skin tone. This is meant for normal to dry skin, and it has SPF 18 in it. I like this foundation. This is what I most recently used it for when I wanted a little bit more of a glam look, as opposed to just my like hydrating gel cream sort of a situation. So this is a really nice foundation. I like it. The texture is really nice. It doesn't beat my CoverGirl one. Definitely that is still my ultimate favorite, but this is a really good one, and it works well with my skin. It doesn't oxidize, so this is definitely one that I'm keeping. Okay, so concealers is not going to take very much time at all. I only have 3 concealers, so let's go ahead and go one by one. The first one that I have is the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous in the shade Fair. I'm definitely getting rid of this because I don't reach for it, and the reason I don't reach for it is because of this applicator. I just feel like the applicator is too small and too hard. You really just, like, it doesn't put the concealer on very well. I feel like the concealer formula itself could be really good, but because of the applicator, I just really had a hard time liking it. So because of that, I'm just going to get rid of it. The next one I have is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. This I'm pretty sure is still good. It doesn't smell too terribly weird. The applicator is a lot nicer on here. It's a lot softer. This is the concealer that I use to cover blemishes because it's more my skin tone. So it's not really a highlighting concealer, but it definitely does a really good job of doing what I need it to do. So I'm definitely keeping this one. And this one right here is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. I am going to keep this mostly because I'm almost done with it, and 2 is a good highlighting shade. I don't try to use it directly underneath my eye because I have major fine lines underneath my eye, which is weird considering I'm only 24 years old, but it is what it is. So I try not to use too many products underneath my eye, but this does do a really good job of highlighting, and the coverage is actually really nice. So I'm going to finish this, and then I might be on the hunt for a different concealer after this one is done. Alright guys, that is all I've got for this part of the video, but don't worry, there's definitely more to come because I have a lot of makeup, like a lot of makeup. But stay tuned, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I post the next part of this series. I am super excited to be doing this series, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you are, give it a big thumbs up. Also, hit the subscribe button so you will know when I post more decluttering videos. Thanks guys for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!